everyone, and welcome to the Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal Podcast. I am your host, Sean Ellis, and tonight we have a great guest sitting backstage, Miss Tia Frolova. And she is an energy worker with spiritual insight. We'll be talking to her a little bit about Reiki, runes, maybe cards, a little bit of everything. She was on my show about a year ago, and I thought I'd bring her back just to touch base with her and see how things are going and see what's new. So we're going to bring her on in a second, but I'd also like to make an announcement here real quick. I got to find the image real quick because I just had it right there. I would like to thank Joshua Robert Moore, the theme song for the Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal. He did a great job. Definitely go check out him at Earth Core Audio, Mr. Joshua Robert Moore. Definitely go check out his page. He does a great job. And we are going to bring on Miss Tia. Hey.
Everyone, hi.
How you been?
Pretty good.
Good.
Said a year or two, I don't even remember, but time flies like it was yesterday.
Time has flown. I mean, it's been almost 2 years since I've talked to you almost, and I think I touched base with you a couple times when you popped in on a chat once in a while, but yeah, it's interesting. So what's new for you and spiritual insight?
Well, spiritual insight is back on the road, back on shows and expos, like the one I just worked in Roanoke, Virginia. Planning on doing a couple shows in Iowa. So just see the schedule and what's available, what I can do. So pretty much learning some new skills, new decks, some techniques. So spiritual insight is really growing and getting new clients at our new place. So move to different state.
Okay. Seems like you've been awful busy just in the 2 years for sure.
Oh yeah. It was busy. That's why you didn't see me much.
I'm definitely going to have to check out you if you come to Iowa or back into Illinois. I'm definitely going to have to come to one of the expos and hang out with you. And
yeah,
sure.
Absolutely. I'll message you whenever whatever show I do. I will message you.
Now, you and I both do Reiki, and you're a Reiki master, if I remember right?
Yes, I am. Classic Mikao Sui.
Can you explain to our guest how you do your Reiki work?
That's a good question because, when you're actually doing something, you don't really think about how you're doing it. Like, well, speaking from scientific point of view, it's based on magnetic fields. Speaking from a spiritual point of view, it's that initial energy of the universe that's pretty much a building block of everything. So in Reiki, it's that initial energy in a very, very concentrated state. And attunement to Reiki is something that you pretty much connect to this concentrated energy and you just channel it to someone. I know there are many schools right now. I was working at the expo, I think, about 2 years ago. And I was given Reiki, and a person came to me and asked about Reiki, and they said, I heard you doing it old school. I'm like, what do you mean old school? That's the only school I know. That's the classic Mikao Sui school I know. When you put your hands on the body and you move your hands to certain positions, and that person was like, yeah, but right now everyone is tapping. I had to do my research. What is tapping and Reiki?
I don't think I've even heard of tapping. I've heard putting the hands on, but I've never heard tapping.
So I just recently read a book, and I assume it's one of the newest editions about Reiki. So what they do, instead of like Reiki 2 and higher, you just draw a symbol. In a new way, they draw a symbol, let's say, in my understanding, on the air, and then you kind of tap this symbol into your patient's body.
Well, that's kind of interesting.
That's interesting. I don't practice it, but learn something new every day. So it was some kind of a discovery for me. So, okay, so I'm practicing old school, but if you go to Reiki Master and they teach you tapping, so it's a new school. So that was quite interesting.
I wonder what the variance is, because like I said, I'm used to the way you do it with the old school by laying the hands above it and then putting them across the body in order to feel what's wrong or the energy field that's missing or displaced. That's how I was taught.
Yeah, same.
Huh.
So
Tapping,
so that was something new. And I don't feel like it's really my thing. I kind of want to stick to basics and do Reiki just how I do it. It's just depending on where you are, because like, let's say some states, they require you to have certain licenses to actually being able to touch a patient. Some states, they don't care, so you can actually put your hands on a patient, so you don't have to have anything additional, but it's still, you move your hands from position to position. So yeah, tapping, I would love to see how it's done actually, because I only read about it, but yeah, it's something very interesting.
I guess I'll have to bring that up in my next shaman class, because like I said, I wonder if they know about some of the tapping procedures or the way they've done it. And because my Reiki master, she taught me how to do it the way you did. And even when I was in a shaman class, they taught me the way you're talking about the old school. So it'll be interesting. I wonder if they're aware of some of the new technique.
Yeah, I also wonder how those techniques are created, because at some point people start talking about certain schools of Reiki, certain techniques, and I've never heard about it. And I kind of like to learn new things. I like to learn new ways of doing things that I do, kind of expand my practice. But I'm just not sure how they created, like whose idea it was to tap. And
Right.
but it's actually interesting. So if it works for you, it works for you. I'm just curious about the performance, how exactly you do it. So unfortunately, I didn't see any Reiki masters actually doing Reiki with tapping, and I didn't really see Reiki masters lately who would be doing Reiki on people, even in expos, like in
Right.
the full session. Uh, but yeah, if anyone can give me an answer or like send a demonstration or a link, I would really appreciate that.
Yeah, that I'm definitely going to look into that. It's going to be kind of hard to beat the old school way, because you can definitely pick up the energy off of somebody's body and feel where it's been displaced or it's bad, and be able to adjust it with your energy. That's what I've been trained to do, and be able to convert it. And and I know when me and you talked, when we first met, me and you could actually feel that energy around us, because when we put our hands up, we can actually transfer that energy back and forth.
Right.
And I was actually at the Keithsburg Masonic Lodge, and Haunted Happy Hour happened to catch on an SLS one night, me transferring energy to another person. You could see the colors changing from our hands, and they caught it on the SLS, and you could actually see the fluctuation of the energy. So it does actually stand out, and it does exist. And that's the best way you can explain it when you see something like that, especially from an SLS camera that can pick up the heat sense from one person to another, and the color of your hands were changing the same color as theirs was. So that was actually really cool, that when they caught that on film one night. So that was really cool. We actually got that on video. energy. We talked about telekinesis at one point in time, and I know we're both looking for certain keys of that.
Yes, yes.
Have you actually crossed anything interesting about that since we've last talked?
I started following certain groups where people supposed to share
Hmm.
techniques and stuff, but looks like those groups are dead. I'm still looking. I still want to learn. I've been quite busy with other things, but yeah, this is something that's pretty much on my long to-do list, like long-term to-do list. So, how about you? Did you find any techniques or anything, meditations, breathing
I've
techniques?
seen a lot of people doing fake BS online,
Oh,
and they would take a piece of paper, they roll it in half, and leave a gap in it, and then they start swinging their hands around. And the fluctuation of your hands just moving is making that paper move back and forth in any direction it wants. And people's eating this up. It's like, oh wow, he's doing this. It's because the way he's flopping his hands around. It's not that he actually has telekinesis. It's the way
right.
he's moving his hands and whipping them around. And just that little burst of air is moving that paper in the direction he's pushing it. And I have to sit back and laugh. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, oh my God, you know. And I actually, somebody texted me one night and says, are you watching this? And I was like, yeah, I'm watching. And I said, get offline for a second. I said, I'll bring you up in the backstage here. And I actually put my camera down on the thing and I showed them how they were doing that.
Mhm.
And then, oh yeah, I get it. Yeah. And I'm like, it's just so many people put that BS on there that it's not real. But there's some things that I've worked with some energy and trying to build mine up from time to time. And I would take little foam cylinders. They look like little barrels, and I'd put them
Mhm.
down on a table. And sometimes, if I'm just relaxed, I'll get them to move,
Mhm.
but I can't explain how. I can't figure out the connection on how to actually do it. And some people say it comes from your heart chakra, and then some people say it just comes from the energy and the flow of your body.
I read it also comes from your some kind of energy from your brain, like your brain, some kind of chemical reactions. They help this kinetic energy to
from your
go
from your pineal
through
gland.
your body, yes, and affect an object. And also, like you need to perceive that object as the extension of your body. Let's say I can move
Right.
my hand,
Hmm.
so same thing. I need to perceive an object that I'm trying to move. But there are theories, and I didn't actually see that would give me like a concrete knowledge about
Because I'll actually take an object and I'll actually put it in front of me, and I can feel that magnetic pull off that object. It's like you can feel that object, but once you start setting your mind to it, trying to manipulate it, I can't quite get that connection, because they said if you match the frequency of that object, you can move it.
It was funny. I tried to do something like that. Like I looked at the object and I felt that object, and I was looking at that object, and like shortly after, someone else moved that object. So it wasn't me. It was
Mhm.
moved, but unexpectedly it was moved by someone else. Like I gave an intention. So maybe it also something like the universe likes everything exact, very exact.
Mhm.
So and maybe it was my mistake because like move, move. Okay, someone moved it, so the object moved. So maybe it's also one of the keys how to do it, but no, unfortunately.
Well, see, another thing that I think is interesting is like, when me and you met and we were doing the energy between our hands, and we can feel that. Me and you can feel that energy transferring back and forth on our fingers.
Right. Mhm.
So if we can feel that, and you can feel that tapping on your skin or your fingers and in your palm of your hands. You know the object you're trying to focus on has to be somewhat the same way, you would think. Or is it just because we can receive and push and that object can't?
That's an interesting thought. I actually never thought about the reaction from the object. I was always thinking about what we give from our bodies, how we direct our brain waves and stuff. But yeah, it's actually a very good perspective, something to think about.
I
So
know.
maybe it's also about, like, every action has reaction. So we give an action, but we don't get the reaction. So
Right. But like I said, for us being the way we are, feeling that energy going back and forth from us, and then trying to do it to an object, because if you can feel it, you got to have enough energy to be able to do something with it. But then again, is it just because of our sensories in our hands, the way we are, and that being an object, but everything's got a frequency and everything's based off energy. So is that frequency not quite the same?
yes, some questions that's still looking for an answer.
Yeah, I'm definitely still looking for them as well. And I mean, I've come across some people that, kind of get hush hush about it when I talk about it, but
Why?
then they can't explain when I do that with the palm of their hand. They look at me funny, like I'm strange. So, hey, Nathaniel, how you doing, buddy? But yeah, it's definitely interesting for sure.
No, it's a natural skill. If we're able to think about it, it means we're able to do it.
Yeah,
But
manifestation is very powerful, but I'm trying to figure out the parts that we keep missing in some aspect.
yeah, how to do it? It's like if you don't know how to drive a car, it's possible, but unless someone shows you how, or you somehow figure it out, you will not move this object.
Sometimes I wonder, even being in a super relaxed state, maybe sometimes our body's too stressed out, and maybe our mind is too stressed at times and not fully clear. That could be
Yeah,
a
that's
factor.
also
That could
that's
be a
also
factor.
possible. Plus, we're surrounded by different waves, from radio waves, TV wave, like waves. I'm just not sure it's TV wave or how it's called.
Yeah.
But we're just surrounded by electric and like all kind of stuff that also affects us. So maybe the combination of everything kind of slows down the process. But again, I've never seen anyone who could genuinely just take an object, look at it, and move it.
Mhm.
So, like you made the first step.
Yeah. Yeah. So
You proved that it's possible.
it's strange that, like I said, I think it just depends on how our body's receiving everything at the time too. And I think it's got to be the frame of mind we're in. But to get into that frame of mind, then remember exactly how it happened and why it happened, and then all of a sudden you're sitting there second guessing yourself. I think it's the other problem.
Yeah, I agree. It's the moment you start analyzing things. Actually, that's what I like about Reiki. You don't have to analyze, you don't have to think. Even if you doubt, it still works.
Oh yeah, I
So,
definitely agree. I mean, being able to feel that energy around you, especially if it's a negative energy, and it trying to overwhelm you, and being able to shift that energy to somewhere else, that's great, because not a lot of people can do that. And once that bad energy gets on them, it changes their whole mood.
changes your mood, changes your vibration, changes again brain chemistry, changes pretty much the whole environment around you for a while.
Now, have you? I don't know if I've asked you this last time. Have you ever dealt with an attachments with people?
Yes, I remove them. Actually, it's funny. The spirits, entities, they kind of afraid of me. They avoid me a lot. Like when I'm not home, I have our home just becomes like a highway for spirits. They're like all over, all over. I show up, they like quiet. But yeah, I removed attachments maybe because I'm not always nice with them. I'm just like open the portal, like kick you out, like bye.
Yeah, I've got an agreement with the ones that pass through here. If as long as you're behaving, you're fine. You start acting up, there's the door. Uh, I don't stick with the bad ones being around very often, but I've had them come over the obulus and tell me they just don't like me. They just don't like me being around, and they've told that to my Reiki master as well when we've been out on investigation before. And it's because of our energy. They just don't like what we can do, and I think that's kind of cool. That
It is cool.
because the fact that we don't know exactly what it is at the time, but we can feel the energy, and they don't like that we can feel them. I think that's one of the coolest things about being clairvoyant and being able to feel that energy and being able to do Reiki. And a lot of people doesn't understand that energy, you can do a lot of things with that energy and manipulate it.
You can manipulate it, and also you can get the answers. Like a lot of times people ask me, I don't know, how can I talk to my spirit guide? Well, I am a spirit guide, so I know how to talk to beings like me, like just talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
Human, talk to us.
Right. And I mean,
but we still need to learn the language. Let's say spirit guides, they also need to understand how to communicate with you. They can give you all the symbols in the world. They can give you all the signs in the world. But if you do not look around, we try to be creative and just give you something else.
Yeah,
you still ignore it. So just listen. Sometimes all you have to do is to ask a question. That's it.
Yeah. I know when I was going through my Menaki rites, the 9 stages of my Menaki rites, I was having dreams and they were giving me symbols. I didn't know what the symbols meant, but me and the Reiki master actually dug through the symbols and looked them up and tried to find things close enough to them. And they were telling me the things that we were capable of doing, what I was capable of doing. And some of them I haven't even scratched the surface with yet, but a lot of them I've dabbled with a little bit. One is scrying. I do like to scry, when I get a chance to do that. Energy work and being able to read that energy when we're out in the field and help our team when we're out there, or even if it's just me or somebody's with us at the time. I mean, that's a good thing because some people go in and they get overwhelmed by that energy. It's like, and you can't breathe, and it's that energy taking and sucking it away from you. And some people just got to turn around and walk out for a while. So it affects everybody different, and I think that's pretty cool. One of the things.
For all your investigations, do you have like some kind of a moment the spirit did or entity did that just made you laugh? Like the funniest moment of all your investigations? Because I know some entities, they're very conscious, some residual, but some of them, they're smart, intelligent, and they actually like to mess around.
Oh, the most maleficent, well, I shouldn't say. I had a trickster. It was a djinn, and it actually followed me home from an investigation, and I didn't even realize it. But I was going to my parents, and I was in my 4-wheel drive truck, and all of a sudden, my truck locked up. All 4 wheels just locked up for no reason going down the road. I mean, just tore the transmission up in it. Couldn't figure out why. Then I come home, and 3 days later, I lost my job. Couldn't figure out why. I was like, what the hell's going on? I happened to be sitting in a room in my house, and I've told this story before, that I've got hardwood doors on certain parts of my doors and in my rooms. They're hardwood. And I was looking at them, and the grain in the hardwood was changing. It was making pictures in the grain, moving. And at first I thought, okay, it's a reflection, it's this, it's that. So I debunked it. I was like, okay, turn this off, turn that off. There's no way there could be a reflection. And I would still sit there, and it was still doing the same thing. And I was like, it was the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life. With the grain in the wood of those doors was actually fluctuating and moving around. So then when I got done in that room, I ended up going into my bedroom, and all of a sudden I heard a growl. Just a growl. I didn't have a dog at the time. I had no pets at the time, but it was a vagrant growl. And I happened to look over in the clothes closet door. That's a hardwood door. And I seen an image of something sitting there just kind of looking at me. So that time I end up summoning an Islamic jinn to come get rid of that jinn. And I gave him a new home across the street. And there's a spot in the lot across the street where I buried him with salt. They don't grow grass anymore. So, but that one just kind of laughed and kind of antagonized me a little bit. But yeah.
What did you investigate to find a jinn? I don't think I've ever met any. Like, I read about them, I heard about them, but
we were actually
here in our Western world.
I was actually on the old team at the time before I created the new team here with the Eternal X Wolfpack. I was on my old team, and we were at a restaurant, and there was like a family of a jinn in that location. We actually got some pictures of one of them. If you look in the mirror just right, you can see the silhouette of him sitting right there looking at somebody. But he ended up following me home that night, and a couple of the other people at that night was getting kind of, how do I say, it was one to attach to one of our teammates, and I pulled the headphones off him when he was doing Estes because I felt the energy because he kept taunting with him. And then he kept telling me and the Reiki master there that night he didn't like us. He wanted us to leave. So sometimes we'd walk out of the room because he didn't want our energy around him. And then they would get answers. But then, like I said, it ended up following us home that night. But yeah, that was at a restaurant not far from where I live.
Oh.
We investigated there after hours one night, and it ended up following me home. And then ever since then, I learned not to let things follow me home. But yeah, I've crossed jinns and actually in a couple of different places that I've been. They're interesting, and some of the ones that I have crossed is from military guys that have come from overseas.
Yeah, I think that's those are the cases that I've heard when military comes back from big countries, and
Yeah,
they have genes and those kind of entities attached.
Yep, and I've had some friends that actually have come back from the military that I've helped get rid of those attachments from them, and I've come across a few gems.
How do you remove the attachment? For me, it's simple. I just remove it, open the portal, and kick it out.
I actually pretty much kind of drain its energy and reshift it and relocate it. That's how I would do it. That's how I normally do it, is I'll drain the energy from it. So
it's plastic food container, so no. It was expected. It's not a ghost.
But yeah, I'll actually drain the energy from it and reshift its energy somewhere else. But yeah.
What do you think about cleansing with sage? Because I personally don't do it. I burn sage just for the smell. But I met many people who asked me if it helps.
I have a couple different opinions about that. I mean, I don't do things the way I used to with the old team because now that I've taken shaman classes for a while and
Mhm.
I understand the spirits in a different manner than I did back then. Um, but to actually just burn sage and there's something good there, or your guardian or your family members or stuff like that, that's actually kind of burning them, and that's not really a good idea. I mean, I can understand if there's something bad there and you want to cleanse it and get it out of there, but to actually just burn it to burn it and to kind of purify the spot, I don't believe in that. I want to go in there and I want to feel that energy myself that's in that location. I want to understand that energy there. I want to be able to feel what it's trying to communicate to us and not feel scared about it. And then if they start acting up and doing stupid stuff, then we'll deal with it another way. But that
Stupid
not
stuff.
unless it's absolutely necessary.
Because I know it's very popular, and when you like look at different groups and posts online, and it's the first thing that people suggest. Oh, you need to sage your house. You need to burn some sage. And I remember when I didn't live in the body, like before I reincarnated back
Hmm.
to this dimension. I didn't care about any kind of smells or any kind of incenses or anything. Like
Hmm.
nothing that's tangible could affect
Right.
me.
Right.
That's why I'm a bit like if it helps you, it helps you. I'm not saying it's not helping. Maybe it does, but I'm just not sure uh, how it can help. Let's say on a physical level, because yes, you
Hmm.
have certain electrical uh,
Right.
charges, you have
Hmm.
certain waves, but you don't have an actual nose to smell.
Right.
So, and smokes, smells, I don't know, like just speaking from personal experience, when I was a spirit, it didn't affect me anyhow.
I know when we've come across Indian spirits, it's kind of like, how do I say, to burn tobacco, to
Hmm.
kind of honor them, even though they can't smell it. They're seeing it. They're seeing it happen. They're kind of reliving their life when they see it. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing
Yeah,
that,
yeah, they have
and it's more of
association.
a help. It's a more of a visual aid, I think, with them. But then again, if some of us are clairvoyants in being able to smell things from a different location and not even be there, it may be possible for them to actually smell things at times.
Yeah, I can only speak from my personal experience. So,
So, I mean, like I said, we can sense the energy when I'm around. I can sense it and feel the energy all the time around me, and I can feel when the energy shifts. Um, but yeah, and I can actually take the bad energy and turn it into good energy,
mhm.
and that helps out a lot as well. So, I mean, I'm very blessed on my Reiki master that when she taught me those things, and then learning how to keep the balance with it, it's been a tremendous help. And I think Reiki does a great addition to being an investigator because it does help in a lot of ways. And some people don't believe in it, but I'm pretty adequate about doing that.
No,
So
I love Reiki. I pretty much use it for everyone. Like every time I'm behind the wheel, I ask Reiki to keep me safe and to show me where the cops are.
yeah, you get that gut feeling down the road. Okay, here's what's coming. Yeah.
Interesting. My car is smart. Like sometimes she feels cops and I push the gas pedal and she just doesn't go. Okay, okay, got it.
She's telling you already. But yeah, it's interesting because you'll get that gut instinct or whatever, or you'll feel that energy around you if something's around. That's definitely for sure, and that's a good thing. that's definitely a good thing.
What's your opinion on curses? Like
Curses?
curses, cursed objects? Because lately I've seen a lot of posts about it, and even in some paranormal shows, they
Mhm.
kind of like claim that the place is cursed. Like, how do you see it, like from your perspective as an investigator and as a Reiki practitioner and clairvoyant?
Um, I believe places can be cursed. I believe people can be cursed as well. Um, that gets into the darker black magic side of things, the Hindu, the hoodoo, things like that. They can definitely be cursed. That's coming from old magic and old energy and how they feel it for sure. Objects that people have had in their house for a period of time that they actually liked and enjoyed, and all of a sudden end up at a secondhand shop, can actually have an attachment. It's not cursed, but it has an attachment. And sometimes those objects I've seen bring bad luck to people. So,
Had one was a gift. Like one person bought a clown in an antique store, some kind of old store, uh, and gave it to another person.
mhm.
And something was wrong with that clown. So I kind of took scanned it, find the entity, like, hey, you, come here, you
Yeah,
know, go home.
yeah. I mean, people can actually put their energy into things. I know a guy that can do it. I know how to do it myself. Put energy into an object, and it will cause some problems for people. And they don't realize that, it's part of manifestation words and being able to put it in there the way you were taught. And it does, people can do that for sure. And then to go back, you'd have to trace the energy, like you were saying, a property or a house. You being a Reiki master and feeling that energy, you got to backtrack that energy to where it came from. You got to try to feel that source and that energy and that core from where it come from. It could be the ground itself they cursed. It could be the house they've cursed. It could be an object in the house they've cursed. You'd have to go back and feel that energy, and the things that stand out the most when you walk by them or come across the ground and you can feel it. Oh yeah, definitely so. And then you got to start doing your work to get rid of it.
I actually used Reiki. Speaking of Reiki, I used Reiki to cleanse a couple of objects that
Mhm.
didn't have quite a good history.
Oh
And
yeah,
yeah, after that, you feel like it's brand new, like it's recharged to ground zero. Like now
hmm
you can put it, like now it's in the neutral. Now you
right.
can do
It's got
whatever.
a no energy feeling to it after you get
Mhm.
done with it.
Yeah,
Oh
so
yeah, most
Reiki
definitely.
can be used for that too. Like pretty much, I don't even know for what Reiki cannot be used.
It's
Sometimes something is not working. Uh, just put my hands on, let's say, a phone or something, and miraculously it starts working. Not right away, but
right,
give it some time because
right.
well, it's 3D world, nothing happens immediately. But yeah, it starts working.
Yeah, it definitely does. Um, like I said, I think Reiki's amazing after I learned how to do it. And I even got my mom into trying to do a little bit of Reiki work to help her with stuff because even with injuries, it helps trying to repair things and try to rejuvenate things as well. Frequencies with tuning forks, they can do wonders as well. It's not all about medicine like a lot of
Mhm.
people think sometimes.
It's something I never tried.
Yeah, it does work. I got a friend, she actually does work on my neck. I
Mhm.
call her an energy healer. Um, she actually will work on my neck, and it'll last for 6, 7, 8 months as long as I can maintain it after that. But she'll actually pull that bad stuff out of you, and you can tell the difference about 3 or 4 hours later after she works on you. you can definitely tell the difference in it. And especially what gets me sometimes is the subconscious of collecting it and not realizing it's collecting. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm focused on other things besides certain things, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, something's not right, and I know it's not right. But she definitely does an amazing job, and I told her she's pretty much a healer, and she's got the marks of the healer in her hands as well. So she's got the triangles.
Marks of a healer? What is that?
Yeah, you got the triangles like I do in the palms of your hands,
Hmm.
clairvoyant triangles in the palms. You probably got them too.
Maybe I have so many lines. I've been told my hands are so hard to read because I have a million lines and they're all close to each other.
Well, I've noticed my palms. I used to have tons of triangles in them. Now it's starting to fade. Some of them are starting to fade away because I do different stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you've got different things in the palm of your hands, but one hand's got more triangles than others, but they used to be compounded and they're all pretty well. That's the sign of clairvoyancy is when you got triangles in your hands. Also, if you got that little cross underneath your ring finger, like right in here, there's a little bit of cross sometimes in the right here in this little area of your finger between your palm and your knuckle and your joint. That means there's magic in your blood. Somewhere along the line, it's come from the your bloodline that you've had witch's blood or magic, dark magic, or whatever. It's in your bloodline from way back. So, but yeah,
Interesting. I
that's
feel like the more I learn, the, uh, the more I still have to learn. Like the more I know, the more I don't know because there's so many different things that you can learn, like palmistry. It's interesting,
Mhm.
and I've never done it. Like I heard the fact, like here and there. Like for example, you mentioned the triangles. Like you had a
Mhm.
lot of them, and then they started disappearing. Something else started appearing, and
Mhm.
like when you change, when you start making different choices,
Yeah.
your hands change. So I heard about that, but looking at someone's palm, I cannot say anything.
I know. Like I said, that time we met, we had a really interesting conversation about a lot of things when we were talking, and especially your Akashic records. You've done Akashic work as well, haven't you?
Not really. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Because, well, I see energy flows, I see certain things, but I don't think I do it directly.
Akashic records are like going back into your past, seeing your past lives.
Those ones.
Yeah.
Uh, I do some elements of past life hypnosis.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't
That's what it is.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't call it Akashic records, but again, everyone has their own definition. But sometimes, yes, I can, let's say, when I read the soul, I
Hmm.
can dive in and see what, like, the whole story of the soul from the moment it's separated from the source up until now and what's
Hmm.
going on in other dimensions as well. I
Right.
mean, as much as this brain can process it
Right.
and describe it. Uh, but I I never actually thought about it as Akashic records. Yeah, in a sense, yeah, it is an Akashic record because,
Mm.
well, you see what's imprinted.
Right. I mean,
Yeah,
everybody calls it different. Do you have a different name for it that you call it?
yeah, that's why whenever people mention something that I think I know, I always ask questions like, okay, define. Because what I call, let's say, Akashic records, for someone else, it could be something else.
Hmm.
Everyone has their own definition of things.
Yeah, their terminology and how they were taught too. I mean, everybody's taught a little different for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like when you were talking about the Reiki and the
Yeah,
tapping.
yeah. I just thought about it. Yeah. I was taught a classic Reiki, and someone was taught already like a new school of the classic Reiki. Someone was taught another school of Reiki,
I
which,
wish I wish that I knew Reiki back when I started learning martial arts from the first time, because now I figured out certain things that from the martial arts standpoint
Mm.
that falls in with the Reiki. And I never realized it until I actually put two and two together and start seeing what function it actually does.
Yeah,
So
martial arts with Reiki, combining the two, it would be powerful.
yeah, and like I said, I wish I knew the things I knew now back when I started learning it, because now I'm playing catch up, putting it together
Hmm.
when things are. And now I'm getting old, I can't do some of the stuff back like I did back in the day, but that's like I
No,
said.
age is a man-made concept. Only humans are concerned about the rounds around the local star that they travel.
Well,
So
I
if
know
you want to do something, can
I
still do
definitely I definitely know I don't really care about time much anymore.
another man-made concept, time.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I try to explain the IRS about the due dates, like, hey, it's a man-made concept.
Yeah, I explained that to a couple people before, and they looked at me like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, time's just what they've come up with. So you show up to work on time, you can come do your job and everything else. But otherwise, if you're not doing things like that based on what they told you, there's no time because you never pay attention to it."
Um, when I read about different experiences of people who remembered their previous lifetimes, life between lifetimes in their
Hmm.
hypnosis sessions, and some of them, independently from each other, said that humans will never be able to travel past Earth or past solar system, let me put it this way,
Hmm.
until they change their concept of time.
The way they think, the concept of thinking.
Humans, they really concerned about the time. Everything is timed. Everything is scheduled. Everything is extremely structured.
Hmm.
It puts a lot of restrictions on our abilities.
Oh yeah,
Maybe that's another thing why we cannot really use our telekinesis
right.
abilities, energy.
But they're also saying, remember, they also say the fact of what is in front of you is behind you, what is above you is below you, what is to the right to the left of you. So all that actually is working in the same category, which time is irrelevant. So when you're able to cross those paths and astro project, that's when it becomes interesting as well too.
Oh yeah, that's another topic, astral projections.
Oh yeah.
Another endless topic to discuss.
Yeah, that I definitely like that topic as well. It's interesting. And you would think the Reiki and the astral projection would go hand in hand some way, but every time I've tried to experiment with certain things, it doesn't quite line up. And I can't quite figure out the puzzles of that either. But I'm sure it does.
I only use Reiki to help myself to relax in this case. So I just give myself Reiki to and give Reiki intention to relax my body so I can get out of it.
Yeah.
But
So you
Reiki
just
is more like an initial energy. It's not quite. It's pretty much the one of the building codes of the universe, and not just this universe, like other worlds as well. I think the soul structure has, if that's initial, has the soul has a bit more components. That's why we kind of feel the difference when we're
hmm
out of the body. So Reiki is here, I'm here.
hmm
It's
I
like we consist of water, but we realize that who we are when we're swimming.
right. And it's definitely interesting for sure. You said you use the Reiki to relax. I mean, I do that as well, but sometimes it's just not enough once in a while. So I use the frequency along with the Reiki, and
Mm.
that seems to be that little extra push, which is can put you in another frame of mind altogether. So frequencies along with the Reiki is tremendous help as well.
Are you talking about that music with embedded frequencies?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a powerful thing.
Yeah, I do.
That's really that thing works very well. For,
I
like
actually
it does.
I'll actually use that just to when I'm sleeping at night, just listen to it all night long. So that actually helps me get rebalanced sometimes when I get a little stressed. But it definitely does for sure. Now I know you said you grabbed a bag of things. You grabbed some runes
Yeah, I just grabbed some tools that I used at this expo.
at the expo. You want to read some runes for me?
Yep, sure.
See what you come up with. It's been a while since somebody's read runes for me.
Do you have a particular question you would like to clarify?
Hmm. Let's see. I could think of one. Um, is there anybody in my life in particular that's going to get their mind back on track?
Is there anyone in your life in particular who what a
That-
track?
That's going to get their life back where they should have it?
Okay, so there is a
Because
human
because
being.
they're always undecisive once in a while.
Okay, so in other words, there is a human being who will need to get their life together and what they need to do it.
Yeah, just certain little things. Yeah.
Let's before I pull runes, I have an answer, and this answer is not by themselves. They need help.
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing I've been saying myself.
Like it's like you need to actually push that person because that person doesn't really see the picture clearly. It's like, oh, everything's fine. Yes, something's wrong, but everything's fine. I don't know what to do. It's like the thoughts are in a million places at the same time.
Yep.
That's how it feels. That's how I feel that soul.
I definitely I think you're on the right track for sure. That's definitely same thing I pick up.
Okay, so what the rune suggests? The problem is Hagal. So Hagal is pretty much the rune of a hail when everything gets ruined, like all the plants, everything gets destroyed, so something new can grow. So, of course, the problem is that this is the time where it's time to change things.
Hmm.
But it's not very smooth and easy, and sometimes it's kind of forceful change. The problem started happening when, so it's a reversed vinia, it's
Hmm.
the source of the problem. The problem started happening when pretty much that person went to a dark phase of their life, like everything just started going downhill. And that was the moment when the problem started. The realization of this problem happened, like, okay, all this downhill fall needs to stop at some point.
Hmm.
So what this person needs to do, this is fiho, it's the rune of abundance. It's the rule, and abundance, it can be anything, but in this case, so this person can only start doing something themselves if they hit a very, very rock bottom, when you have no one, you have nothing, and you cannot just go and die, like you forced to do something. So unless they hit the rock bottom, they will not start moving themselves, unfortunately. But it can also be psychological rock bottom. So like when you I don't see any like all any ways out. Like all the doors are closed. So now I need to build a staircase and maybe build a second floor and jump from the roof.
Because they panic and don't trust their instincts, so they want another path.
Yeah. So rock bottom is the key. So unless they hit rock bottom, they will not do anything themselves. They can still be pushed to the right direction. They still can be pulled from out of the situation. But that person is not very ready to see at their life, uh, to see their life very clearly, like to look objectively, like, hey, I was wrong. Yeah, I'm not really in
Yep.
a good place. But after the rock bottom, this is the best, my favorite rune. Cannot say the best because there are other runes that are great. I don't want them to be jealous. It's Dagaz. And the symbol of this room is a butterfly. It's a transformation, but it's not an
Mhm.
immediate transformation. And it's when every single day you have a small change, something small is happening. And like 6 months from now, a year from now, you look back and you see that the world is different, your life is different. So after the rock bottom, slow but very directly, that person goes to completely new level with new perspectives, with new opportunities, and even with new understanding of what they were doing before.
Yeah, that's pretty close. I'd say that's really close because I sometimes don't think they see what's in front of them once in a while, and like you said, they've got to make those adjustments on their own.
That it feels like that person thinks very big, somewhere in some kind of distant future. Like you can see yourself in a yacht, let's say symbolically speaking, somewhere in the middle of the ocean, living your best life. But now you're unemployed and you have one pair of tennis shoes. So, and instead of thinking how to get to that point, person just sits and think, "Oh, I would paint my yacht green." So this kind of things. So, like, stop dreaming and make a business plan.
Yeah, I definitely I definitely see that. Like I said, I know that person. Like I said, they've made some changes. They're trying to change, and it's definitely noticeable. And I think you hit it pretty close. I think it's on definitely the same path. Especially when you pulled up with the butterfly part. There's still manifestation coming for sure.
No, this person has all the chances to have even a better life that they dream about.
Hmm.
But yeah, it takes time and patience. And patience is something they need to work on.
Yeah, a little bit,
A little bit,
a little
like
bit.
not uh, getting bored every time something doesn't happen right away.
Yeah, I definitely got to agree with that one too. But yeah, I
Enjoy
definitely
the process, not the destination.
right.
Enjoy the journey. Find something in your journey, not in the destination. That might help a little bit. A little bit.
True. And like I said, they've got the heart to do it. It's just making that butterfly transform a little bit and acknowledging what's in front. So
Yeah, that's when rock bottom comes to play. When uh, you have no leaves left to eat, you have no choice. You have to transform.
true. Very true. Well, Tia, it's at the top of the hour. Where can people find you at?
They can go to my website, spiritual-insight.net. I have social media. I don't post that much. I'm not on TikTok, so I'm on Facebook, on Instagram, Threads. or website. It has my phone number. It has email. So
I actually forgot to pop this up when we were talking here. I'm going to let it run through here because I put your name and spiritual insight there so they can find your website and stuff. So we got to talking on the conversation and everything. I just totally forgot to pop up the banner on the bottom. I had a brain fart, but I definitely it's always interesting talking with you because, like I said, I see a different perspective once in a while, or we find an answer we may have been looking for. And you pointed out a couple things to me that just tonight talking that I'm going to realign and restructure myself because that may have gave me some little bit of different ideas because I know when we do talk, it gives me a different idea to try something new.
Oh, I learned some new stuff today too from you. Thank you.
So, and I think it's fun, and definitely you get a chance to see Tia at one of the expos. Definitely go up and talk to her and get a reading. Have her have some runes if she reads her runes. So, you still doing cards as well, or just the runes?
No, I pretty much I do them combined because runes give you one perspective and cards give you a different perspectives.
Right, definitely so. Definitely, like I said, definitely if you see her, Tia Frolova, and spiritual insight at any paranormal expo, definitely go up and talk to her. She's a very interesting person, and she's got a lot of knowledge if you really want to dig her brain and some other things as well. So I guess it depends on what they ask you, right?
Cannot disagree with that.
Because like I said, we definitely had a very interesting conversation the day I met you. And like I said, you're more than welcome to always come back on the show too. And
I will let you know when I do an Iowa show.
Yeah. And if you do, maybe I'll come down there and maybe we'll do a little live show from right there at your booth.
Oh, that would be great too.
And everybody can check out what you're doing firsthand right there on the spot. So if
that would be a great advertisement
for me. I'll even be the guinea pig that day. So then you can do it and show everybody what you're capable of doing. And like I said, definitely go check her out. And thank you for coming on the show tonight. I greatly appreciate it. And
thank you for inviting me.
I wish you the best with everything you're doing.
Same. And I wish you to have more amazing investigations and meet some hilarious spirits that will make your day.
I'd like to run across some funny ones once in a while. That's definitely for sure. So I'm going to close out the show. I'm going to leave you up there, Tia. And next week, guys, we have Mr. Jeremy Cotter. So definitely tune in next week. He's part of the All Access Network television as well. He'll be with me and we'll get into discussions a little bit about everything because he used to be a wrestler.
Oh.
And I used to be a cage fighter. And I'm sure we got some stories we can probably talk a little bit about and some of the things we went through. And I know he's a big comic book buff too and collects a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I do too. So it'll be a little bit interesting. It might not all be paranormal next week. But everybody, thanks for tuning in tonight. Tia, thanks for coming on tonight.
Thank you.
Everybody have a great rest of your night, and we will see you next week. We're out of here.